Hello, I'm Matt NF, and it's a series where I go through all the levels in Left 4 Dead 2 and talk about what I think the level design is doing, and start Carnival Map 5, the concert, or the stadium. Let's jump right into it. So, coming out here, first thing I remember is there's a really interesting jump you can do in burst mode, where you can actually get on top of this as a special, and then you can do like a little trick jump to get over the top of here. And then get back.
We need to start the finale.
It's a good place to spawn as like a smoker or even a boomer. I think the Last Stand update actually added a special infected ladder to get over the top of this. You don't have to do that tricky jump anymore. But getting on top of here is still an interesting spawn. If you want to attack like instantly, you can spawn up there as a boomer and just like immediately spawn in their head. Also, another cute little trick you can do here in Versus mode where in Ghost mode, you can take advantage of the fact that when you're inside of a physics object, you get like kind of a speed boost. So in Ghost mode, you can crouch. You just kind of like tap crouch real quick while moving forward, and then you get like launched forward.
Someone needs to hit the lights!
You get launched forward, and then you like bounce up this trash piece, and you get on top of this tent. And what that allows you to do is you can spawn back here and attack from here. You can like pull or charge or boom even. And in competitive versus mode, there's a tank on every single map, so that means there's an early tank on this map. And since there's an early tank, you would want to get a spawn up here and you know, fight the or boom them or whatever you want to do. So remember last map you saw that hidden room, so that would have been right here, which you know is why it doesn't make any sense to have that there. Would have been right where these restrooms are at.
We have to hit the lights!
Okay, Nick, I'll hit the lights, don't worry. Yeah, so we finally get our payoff to the Midnight Riders. We've seen them multiple times since map 1, and now we get to finally experience whatever the fuck the Midnight Riders are. Coach has been talking about it all game.
Any ideas on how to start the finale?
Something I really like about this finale is actually a lot of diversity in where you can hold out. So that, you know, the obvious choice that people always pick when they play the first time is on the stage. Holding out here, music's playing, fireworks.
How does this finale start?
Feels fucking awesome. But it's actually multiple places you can hold out. Like I've seen people hold out up here. Versus mode players hold out up here. Like one person in the middle, one person watching that spawn, one person matching that spawn, and then like someone else who kind of goes around. In the earliest iteration of the level, before this window was here and before all this other stuff was here, which I'll talk about in a minute, people used to hold out right here because there was nothing around you, no spawns. These tents were not here, so you can just chill right here. You're safe from spit while standing on top of this.
Turn on the lights!
All the specials have to come from far away in the wide open. So yeah, that was one thing that I liked about this level was the diversity. I've even seen people hold out on top of this, which is pretty fun. So yeah, let me see what else we got. So yeah, this map has gone through many iterations. In the beta version, the super early beta, alpha even, you did not have a helicopter rescuing you. It used
Run
to
up to
end
the lights!
by okay, maybe let's make Nick shut up.
Lights!
It used to end by you getting on a train. I don't know where that train would have been, maybe behind the stadium. But if you remember on Swamp Fever map 1, you start the game on a train. And that's why. Because this used to end on a train and not the helicopter. And I think there's voice lines for it in the game, I believe. I think Chet Palisek has talked a little bit about it. So yeah, you used to get on a train and then it just ends. And then Swamp Fever map 1, you begin on a train. So the helicopter never existed in the earliest version. Then I went through another version of the map where there was a control room somewhere in this level, presumably in this little structure here before it got changed into restrooms, where there was a guy inside of it holding out in there, and you spoke to him through the door and he like activated shit for you and like turned stuff on and like something along those lines. And if you dig through the voice line files in the game, you can hear voice lines from the survivors yelling at this guy to like let them in or some shit like that. I forgot what they said exactly, but if you look through the files, you'll hear like there's stuff where he was doing in there some crazy guy in a control room. I don't know how the map would have ended, but yeah. So I don't know if you remember the Death Toll finale where there's that guy in the church and you talking to him through the door, or even Whitaker in Dead Center. Imagine what it acted very similar to that, where you just hear a voice, you don't really see any NPC or anything. And then I think there's another version after that where survivors had to go through the map doing all sorts of objectives. Because there's voice lines in the files where it says like, activate the flash pots, which are like a type of explosive. Turn on the lights. Crank up the music. And in Dark Carnival Remix, I actually restored this gameplay if you want to experience what that might have been like. Where you go around doing all sorts of objectives. So instead of it being a map where you hold down one spot, now you get to go over here and do stuff, and then go over here and do stuff. And it kind of gets you moving a lot more, and it's definitely a lot more challenging. So if you want to experience what that is, let me know. So that was, I think, the third iteration. And then the fourth iteration came out of this map, and the game launched. So all the stuff that you see now, a lot of this layout stuff, was not here on launch. So for instance, this window was not here for specials and common to spawn through. This little area was not here. This second floor was not here. Whatever the fuck this is was not here. Same thing on this side. The second floor was not here. This was not here. So the map was a lot smaller in scale. And it was like that, I think. I also think they added this forklift too in that same update. And I think they made that change because in Versus mode, this map was an absolute nightmare for specials. They had nowhere to spawn from. They were spawning from... Remember when I told you before that people would camp out right here? So yeah, in Versus, survivors would camp there, and this tent was not here. That tent was not there. That tent and those tents were not there. None of those were there. So think about that. Like, where do you come from as a special? You had to spawn here, and then walk all the way across this open area, or you spawned right here and walk across the open area. And sometimes you could spawn down here and then walk up the stairs. So as you might expect, that was a total nightmare to play in Versus mode. So they changed the map significantly and added these extra floors, added whatever the fuck this is, this and this and all the other stuff I told you about, to make it a bit better in Versus. However, none of this shit makes any sense whatsoever. If you were to take this geo and copy paste it to map 4, there would be like huge walls like protruding into the level that make no sense whatsoever. So in map 4, I don't know if you remember, but we were looking down from over here and seeing the stadium up in there and through that little like fence. But now you cannot do that because there's like this weird hole here or whatever the fuck. Same thing with this. This got a lot taller, so you would not have that view there. And yeah, I mean, look at the shape of this thing. Like, what is that? So by making that change, they made the map not make any sense at all. I think what Valve should have done if I were doing those changes, I would not have added all this crap. All I would have done is let the specials get on this rooftop. Well, I'd maybe add... Okay, I would add this window, let them get on this rooftop, and then let them get on this. That would have totally stopped this cheese spot right here, because if specials could rocket spawn off of this would not be a good place to camp. You get spit on, you get charged in here, and then clip off this, and then so they can't stand on it, and dodge spit. That would have solved it, rather than doing all this shit, which made the map not make any sense. And then another thing that broke when they added all that stuff is the animation for the helicopter when it took off. Because that second floor wasn't there, the helicopter just flew over it. When they added that second floor, the animation of the helicopter, it flew right through the building and looked really bad. I think the Last Stand update eventually fixed that. Like, a decade later, but Valve broke that. And yeah, I'll never understand what this little thing is here. I wonder if they like assign this to some intern, like his first day in the job. He's like, you're like, yo, fix Dark Carnival and get it done by the end of the week. So he's just like slapped random fucking shapes everywhere just to fix it. Because you can even see like leftovers of where the map, what like used to look like. Like you can see where the fence was. Like, what is this shit? Oh my god, it drives me up the wall. Anyway, I'm rambling now. There's a cool little trick in versus mode that very little people know about. So you can actually get like a death kill on almost any map and almost any location with this little trick that nobody knows about. If you pull, and the reason I'm mentioning now here is because this is where probably one of the easiest places to do it at. So in versus mode, there's an infected ladder that goes all the way up this wall and climbs to the top of here. If you're a smoker and you pull a guy right up next to this infected ladder, so he gets pulled and he's sitting right there, he's still pulled, and then another SI comes in who's spawned in, and so he's not a ghost, and then walks underneath him and then climbs the ladder. So remember, there's a guy here. You go underneath the guy and then climb the ladder. It pushes him up in the air. So this is the guy getting pushed all the way up to here. And then when the smoker dies, he falls all the way down and falls to his death. So yeah, that's how you can death kill anyone on almost any map. And very little people do that little trick, because I think they don't know about it. Or maybe it's just not that great to use. I don't know. It also requires a lot of coordination, which you don't see in vanilla versus that much. But yeah, that's a little death kill you can do. I just noticed just now a decal here does not continue along the wall. SMH valve. Or along here. You fucked up, Valve. You had one job. Let me think. What else can we do? What else can we talk about? Oh, actually, one more thing. I think at one point in development, these restrooms used to be open too. You can see the signs for restrooms here. And I know that because in the editor, so the game uses these things called soundscapes. And they place them in every doorway. So if you listen to the ambient noise right now, like, I'm gonna stop talking for a second. You hear like crickets chirping and like banging sounds. Those are called soundscapes. And every time you go into an area, like a doorway, a new soundscape activates. So as I walk inside, the crickets stopped. And now you hear like you hear this. You hear like the electrical sounds. You hear some stuff going through there. The light. So basically every doorway has two soundscapes that trigger sounds for the ambient area around you. So you come out here, crickets, go in here, electrical, and these are placed in doorways. Now going back to these restrooms here, where this door is a soundscape. And there's another soundscape on the other side of this wall that's inaccessible for a restroom. So that indicates at one point in development, these restrooms used to be opened up, and because you can see where the soundscapes used to be. Interestingly enough, not on this side, only on this side. I wonder why they cut them. Maybe it was too powerful of a holdout spot. Maybe people were like camping in here and it was like really strong, so they got rid of it. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, this map, I think, as far as I know, has gone through some of the biggest changes out of any Left 4 Dead map. But again, I don't know much about the other maps and how much the changes they might have gone through, because all that stuff is not really talked about by Valve. But yeah, so that's Dark Carnival map 5. Not really gonna play through the map. I think you guys kind of know what happens already. Nothing really for me to add there. There's one cool thing which I think this map does, which no other map in the whole game does that I can think. That is a variable rescue spot location. So sometimes the chopper appears here and sometimes it appears there, which is pretty cool. And I wish more maps did that. That'd be cool to see stuff like that. More randomness and more dynamic events. That kind of thing. And dynamic paths or whatever. Yeah. That's map 5 for you, and thanks for watching, and please leave a comment down below if you like these videos. If I get a lot of good feedback, I'll do other maps. And if you have anything that I might have missed, please tell me about it, and I'll do a follow-up video one day and we can talk about that stuff. But yeah, for now, I'll see you later in the next campaign. Bye.